Hello everyone, and today we're going to be talking some Sonic Movie 3 news. I haven't done this in a while, but yes, we have some news for Sonic Movie 3. Now, this comes via an Entertainment Weekly article interview that was done with Ben Schwartz and Jeff Fowler, who is the producer, director of Sonic Movie 3, and I highly recommend you guys go out and actually read the interview. It is quite insightful. They talk about, what it was. Jeff Fowler talks about, adding Shadow into the movie universe and how trying not to make him super edgy, but just add a bit of danger, and an intrigue into the movie universe. He talks about, writing the two Robotnik's dynamic. He talks about, how they handle Shadow and Maria's relationship in the movie. And he even talks about the Chow. So it's a really nice interview. I think you should all go and read it. But the big thing was at the very end, and this has got people talking. Jeff Fowler said, "It's fun to see the fan debates online about who's coming up next, who's going to be teased at the end of the film. We have a lot of the same conversations. We've all got our favorites on the filmmaking side, and we're all making great cases for it. It should be this one or that one. It's fun to keep that anticipation. This movie is no different in terms of teasing new characters." So, Jeff Fowler there seemingly confirming that there will be a character teased at the end. He also kind of seemingly, without confirming it, said there will be a Sonic Movie 4. Now, we already kind of knew we were going to get a Sonic Movie 4, because they had said that going forward, the Sonic movies will be like Avengers-level movies. We'll have like little side projects, and then they'll all culminate for a big movie together, like the MCU used to do, back when it was good. So, now the speculation. Who is the character? Who is this new character to be teased at the end of Sonic Movie 3? Well, let's go through the list of the most likely suspects. So I think the one we can kind of knock out pretty easy, and I don't think is gonna be is Rouge. I like Rouge. I think she's a really good character when done right, and I just don't think she really fits right now into the movie universe, because I mean, when you look at the people who are here, Sonic is here because he was running away, right? Tails managed to find a way to travel over into our world. We don't know if he can get back. Doesn't look like he can get back. And Knuckles was only here to protect the Master Emerald that had managed to wind up here. And it doesn't look like Knuckles can get back either. I mean, he might be able to. How many of those little ring portals does Sonic have anymore? I don't think he has any anymore, so I think they're all kind of stuck here. And Shadow's now being introduced because Project Shadow, which was, that was a thing done by Gerald many, 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 many years ago. 50 years ago, to be exact. So those four being here is like they're here now, but they're kind of stuck here. Like they can't really get back. So Rouge coming here would be, like, she need a reason to come here. Tails was coming here to find Sonic. Knuckles was coming here to save the Master Emerald because he was being manipulated by Robotnik. Sonic was here because he was fleeing the Echidna tribe. So we kind of need a reason for Rouge to show up, and she doesn't really have a big reason other than she wants to steal something. It could just be like maybe she comes over here because she wants to steal the Master Emerald, which she normally tries to do. It could be she's a known thief in the Anthro world where Knuckles was, in the tie-in comic, and she wants to get the Master Emerald. It's no longer here, so she travels over to Earth and wants to get the Master Emerald. Could be that, and then through that, she gets recruited by Gun because of her skills and all that type of stuff, and we go from there. They could do that, but I just feel like Rouge is the most unlikely of the options to show up. Like, really, I don't see Rouge showing up. It'd be cool, but I don't see her showing up. So I feel like we could knock Rouge out of here. The next person is Silver the Hedgehog. Now, it has been said in a report by Daniel RPK that if movie 3 goes well, which it will, that they're going to do a Shadow spin-off movie, and they have plans for Silver the Hedgehog. I'm going to talk about the Shadow spin-off thing in a separate video because I have a lot of thoughts on that, but talking about Silver. Silver is very interesting, because if Silver shows up, that means we got to do something with Iblis. Now, Knuckles has shown in the Knuckles show that he has fought Iblis, you know, the whole flames of disaster and all that. So Iblis is here. He's in the movie universe. So if Silver pops up at the end, that could be the tease for the next movie, which could be an adaptation of Sonic 06. You know, so Silver showing up, I can see. And you know, it makes sense. He's another notable hedgehog. You know, Silver is a known character, and hopefully that would boost him more into the spotlight, because Silver's kind of been pushed to the side in recent years, so that would push him up into the spotlight more. So I could see Silver, especially if that report is true by Daniel RPK, that they do have plans for Silver. I could see that being true. So Silver is a likely suspect. Amy Rose is, of course, the next one. Everyone wants Amy. I kind of want Amy to show up too. But again, we need a reason for her being here, right? What's the reason Amy Rose has showed up? And I can't really think of one right now why she would show up, why she would be here, other than, you know, like Tails, she wants to meet Sonic, you know? And that's not going to go down with the progressives on Twitter. So I don't know, man. I don't know why Amy would be here. I'm sure they can come up with a very easy reason on getting Amy Rose here, but I need a reason for her to be here. So I don't think it's gonna be Amy. I think Amy and Rouge we can kind of push off and be like, I don't think it's those two. I'd like it to, if they showed up, I would not be against it, but I just don't think they're the likely ones. Silver, I think, is a very likely option, but the one I'm gonna go with, and the one I think is the option for who will show up at the end of movie 3, is Metal Sonic. Hear me out. So it is shown in the trailer that Robotnik will team up with Team Sonic on one condition, and that condition was he gets Sonic's quill. He's so gonna use that quill for something, and he's gonna be using that quill to make Metal Sonic. Now, this also depends on whether or not Robotnik lives at the end of this movie. This could be the end for Jim Carrey as Dr. Eggman, or he could continue. We don't know. Everyone thought maybe it was over for him at the end of movie 2, but Jim Carrey came back for movie 3. So it could just be a thing where he's back just to finish off the trilogy and then go. They could do that, or I'm hopeful he stays. You know, if he dies at the end of this one, or just goes away, we never see him again, I could see Metal Sonic being activated at the end as like a fail-safe protocol type of thing, you know, like one last screw you Sonic, even in death I will not stop, I'll get you, Metal Sonic will get you, you know, type of thing. Or it could just be a thing where he lives and he's like, well, we worked together, that's all done, back to being enemies, here's my next plan, and Metal Sonic turns off. So I think Metal Sonic is the most likely, and if Metal Sonic does show up, that means Amy Rose would be likely in the future, because of course Metal Sonic, Amy Rose, they are linked. They made their debut in the same game. Metal Sonic kidnapped Amy Rose on Little Planet. So if Metal Sonic does show up, that means Amy's not too far behind, and Little Planet could come. It could be maybe Amy Rose is an inhabitant of Little Planet, you know? And then when it comes, Robotnik, like in the game, wants to harness its power. Sonic goes to stop it, he meets Amy Rose there, Metal Sonic kidnaps her again, and we do a Sonic CD adaptation, which I would very much like. So, we could do that, you know? But I think out of all the Metal Sonic is, like, he's so easy to do, right? It's so easy for Robotnik to use that quill and make a robot version of Sonic. And that quill will power Metal Sonic, that'll be the reason for his speed, why he can keep up with Sonic, you know? I think Metal Sonic is the most likely option of who we are going to see show up at the end of this movie. But I could also see Silver showing up. You know, Silver appearing from like a, you know, he pops up from time traveling and, you know, he just kind of stares. Maybe he could say the line of, you know, I found him, the Iblis trigger. He could say that if he wants, you know, to make us Sonic fans happy. Or he could just, you know, stare off into space, you know, kind of teasing like, oh, Silver's here, he's coming, you know, we're gonna do stuff. I think Metal Sonic is number one most likely. Silver is a likely option as well, but I think we're gonna go with Metal Sonic. That's who I think. Anyway, let me know who you think could show up at the end in the comments down below. I love these little discussions where we can just geek out. It's so fun. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.